there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run on first down. Campbell. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he's got Lockett. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
Good job, D. Good job. That's where you fired the ball.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd down, Campbell. And he stopped immediately there. call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. A handoff to Penny. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Here's a give to Penny. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
On second down, here's Penny. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field. That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out there.
Exactly.
But the 9 picks
you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Ertz over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Run.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now they try the right side here. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The handoff, running left is Penny. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And the Seahawks on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is third down and 12. Back to throw. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for everyone possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And they'll run it here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now it's Lockett. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And Myers winds up yanking it. This is no good. Wide to the left. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
And while that play was unsuccessful to start the second half, I'm not sure that you just totally abandon what you do running the football. Maybe you make some adjustments in your run game and do things a little bit differently. That doesn't necessarily mean you just go to the pass and do nothing else.
Throwing is Wentz. It's brought in left side by Tate. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Gonna look deep for... That's caught inside the 20. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 42 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On second down, here's Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead grows to 10-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll look to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. That's taken on the 25. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Line.
Wentz now on first down. It's caught by Aguilar. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Campbell. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 2nd down now, Campbell. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and fight for it here at Campbell. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
They'll run on 1st down. Campbell. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Rashad Penny. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They keep it with Penny on 1st down. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now they'll run the option to the short side. Now the ball comes loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So 2 missed field goals for them now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Hey. 4 down. Here we go. Waiting.
Now they'll run on the draw. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Here we go. Waiting.
Now a play fake. Wentz. Ertz has it left side. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? On 2nd down, Campbell, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Penning. And he is going to get the 1st down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Leaves it for Penning. Brings it just past the 15. Able to avoid the initial contact, but not much more there on the play. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to let it fly. He rifles one that's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now a handoff looking right. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. On play action, it's Wentz. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Bosher now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Black. 82. Let's go.
Wentz to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now they'll run it on the toss. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Working from the gun. Wentz rolling to his left. Wide open receiver, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 11 more yards that go around. A 1st down as well. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Eagles, They continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And now they'll have a few extra days before they face the Rams next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.